Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video I'll be explaining why the arcade is practically useless in 2025 for solo players in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now I want to specify solo players. I think most of us, in fact I think a lot of players nowadays, are mainly playing Grand Theft Auto Online solo. For the occasional sale mission you might pop into a public lobby, but it's very rare to find the player base actively searching for other people to play the game with, to do heists with. It's normally Cayo Perico heist, Dr. Dre VIP contract, earning money, and then maybe chilling with some friends on free time. And that's kind of how I grind at GTA as well. I think it's a lot more fun to grind the game on my own time, and then when I want to hang out with friends, we'll mess around, we'll do Mount Chiliad stuff, you know, all the shiz. But because of that, I do find the arcade to be quite a useless business for the solo players. How do you earn money with the arcade? Well, there's a couple ways. First of all, we have the wall safe. The wall safe is pretty basic. You have to fill the floor of your arcade with various machines. You can actually fill it all with Monkey's Paradise, which is the cheapest, and it will earn you $5,000 every 48 minutes. That money will get deposited into this safe, and that's it. You get $5 grand every 48 minutes. It will literally take you hundreds upon hundreds of hours to earn back the money it costs you to buy an arcade, so really that's not the incentive to purchase this property. The other way of making money is actually fantastic, that being the Diamond Casino heist. We can see that here. We got the whole planning board. I can do the big con approach. I can do the silent and sneaky. There's a bunch of different targets that you can get, gold, paintings, diamonds, all the stuff, right? And what's really cool about the Diamond Casino heist is that it's very cheap to start up at $25,000, and while it may not earn as much money as the Cayo Perico due to the amount you have to pay for the setup, or not the setups, but you have to pay a boatload for the different NPCs which are supposedly helping you divert the cops and all that, you're still earning well over $1 million when doing this heist, probably around 1.7 to 1.6, depending on a good take, which is pretty good. So if you divide that by 2 people, you can still earn $800,000 to $900,000 with this heist. It's only got a 48-minute cooldown. It's fantastic, but the problem is you need 2 people. The setups can be an absolute pain in the butt to do, and because of that, definitely the Diamond Casino heist is very rare to see a lot of people grinding nowadays. If you do play the Diamond Casino heist with friends, and obviously this part of the business is still great, and it's actually a fantastic way of making money. But for the majority of the players, and as I specified in the title of today's video, that are solo, the arcade is kind of useless now. The major reason previously to get your hands on the arcade was because of the Master Control Terminal, which we can see here. The Master Control Terminal allows you to access every single business in the game that was like pre-2023. So we can see the nightclubs in here, bunkers in here, all the motorcycle club businesses, vehicle cargo, special cargo, and air freight cargo. So I can just go onto the page here, I can source, I can sell, I can do everything that I need to very easily from the air freight cargo tab, and it's a great way to use your businesses to sell your product and especially resupply the passive businesses. The newer businesses are really easy. You can pull up the phone for the garment factory and do anything here. You can also make your way over to your phone and, you know, call Mutt, which is another very, very easy way to resupply the acid lab. But for the older businesses, the only way to resupply them efficiently is to make your way to the Master Control Terminal. But this is why the arcade is now basically useless, and it's the Terabyte. In the latest DLC, the Agents of Sabotage update, Rockstar added the ability to give your Terabyte a Master Control Terminal. We can see there's 2 different screens. You have the touchscreen computer, which we can go on now. The touchscreen is pretty basic. It gives you biker supplies, gun running, vehicle cargo, air freight, and special cargo. However, something like the nightclub, for example, is not accessible on your Terabyte. But if you go back to this screen here, we can also see if I press the X button, it will bring up the Master Control Terminal, which has access to the nightclub and all the motorcycle businesses, vehicle cargo, air freight cargo, special cargo, everything, which is huge. The nightclub alone is one of the most important businesses to keep stocked, and we can see right now my popularity is a little bit low, but if I go to nightclub management and I swap my DJs, you know, I can rebook this DJ, and then I can rebook this DJ, and if I do this, you know, 5 or 6 times, I can easily turn what was that very, very low popularity, and then I go back onto it, and we can see now it's at like 90%, which is great. And the nightclub earns a boatload of money, as we can see, already $500,000 in stock sitting there just from chilling. So this is why now there's really no point to buy the arcade, because the major way of grinding as a solo player is to restock all of your passive businesses. And now that you can do the same thing in the the Terabyte, kind of defeats the purpose. First of all, the arcade is incredibly expensive. If we make our way over to Maze Bank Foreclosures and we scroll over to the arcade, I mean, if I wanted to buy an arcade like this one here, it's 2.5 million just for the property. And, you know, even if I don't care about any of the upgrades, personal quarters, and then you also have to purchase the master control terminal, you're probably looking at around $5 million to get your hands on an arcade. When, instead, you can very easily make your way over to the same Maze Bank Foreclosures and get your hands on the new Garment Factory for the price tag of around, what, 2.3-ish million dollars, or you can also get your hands on the nightclub and store your Terabyte there. However, you can only get the new upgrades for your Terabyte inside of the Garment Factory. So if we set my spawn location to the Garment Factory really quick, I can showcase how this works. Essentially, you can now park your Terabyte inside of the Garment Factory. And doing that gives you the ability to upgrade it just like if it was parked inside of the nightclub. And what's great about the Garment Factory itself is that it also has a passive income just like the arcade. It earns a little bit less, but you don't actually have to purchase anything for it to run. It's going to earn about $1,800 to $2,000 every 48 minutes forever. We can see at the bottom I have $27,000 in my safe right now, and that's just from these Garment Factory workers here earning me that passive income over time. But yes, if we make our way into the main floor here and we go all the way over here, there is my Terabyte. So if we enter the driver's seat of the Terabyte, you're going to notice that we have the ability to upgrade it and put some various things on it. So we got modify the Terabyte and we have Bureau Tech. So you can see I've already put on the Master Control Terminal. You also have the collectible scanner if you want it for $1.3 million. It's pretty useless. But Silent Running, Missile Lock on Jammer, and Master Control Terminal are huge because they basically turn this into a mobile arcade. I mean, I can literally drive my Terabyte wherever I want. And it gets even better because obviously the inside of the Terabyte also contains the Oppressor Mark II. So let's say you are doing special cargo sourcing, which is a fairly normal thing. If I want to do a special cargo source, I hop onto the Master Control Terminal page. I go over to, you know, special cargo, source cargo, and you pick on one of your properties, 3 crates, okay? And we do a quick sale mission confirm, right? What's great is that I can then very quickly run back inside my Terabyte, and I can just hop onto my Oppressor Mark II, and I can use my Oppressor for the mission wherever I am. And this is so nice, because now you don't have to worry about, you know, the cooldown on your Oppressor. You can just always call out your Terabyte. You can instantly hop inside of it, start up the mission, and then grab your Oppressor right outside of it as well. This makes life 10,000 times easier, and in general is why the Terabyte is so good. Plus the fact that you can call on the Terabyte wherever you are, whenever you want. You know, if I'm over here, if I drive a little bit away from my Terabyte, it's still saying I'm nearby it, but, you know, if I were to go away from my Terabyte, I can request it, just like the Kosatka, and it will spawn near me. Which means even if I'm located all the way off on the other side of the map, I can still get my hands on the Terabyte incredibly easily. We can see a great example of this right now. I'm in Sandy Shores, which is obviously incredibly far away from my Terabyte, so if I go to the Terabyte tab, I can request my Terabyte, and it will spawn usually within a mile of me, so we just have to wait a little bit, and there you go. My Terabyte is spawned right over here. So you can see how much quicker this is than obviously fast traveling over to something like the arcade, and you can just fly your Oppressor right inside of it, making life super easy. In general, this is a fantastic way to now grind as a solo player, and it, in my opinion, defeats the purchase of an arcade, especially because you also have the ability to do the Cayo Perico heist as a solo player and the Dr. Dre VIP contract, both earning you more money than you would get anyway doing the Diamond Casino. So let me know what you guys think personally in the comments down below, if you agree, if you disagree, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.